I'm there. Let's go shawty. This might be my party, so if I want to, I'm passing around the block too. I know that you won't be. You've been all up on me. I like that you need me. Maybe you can give me satisfaction like this.
What's that other music?
I'm there. Let's go shawty. This might be my party, so if I want to, I'm passing around the block too.
Hey, what is up? Welcome, everybody. Get in here. I'm so excited to see these 6 people that are just on here waiting and ready to be at the adult table. Thank you to you. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share. Make sure you like. Appreciate you so much. Excited to be here for episode 3 of the adult table. We're really doing this. We're making it happen. So welcome to everyone. I am excited for the show today. Very, very excited. Happy Thursday. Happy Friday, Junior. That's what I call it. I call it Friday, Junior. We have a packed show like always, and very, very excited to have my Ready to Love Season 7 castmates with me today as well. And we're going to have a super, super fun co-host at the top, Twan the Don, wherever he is. I hope he is here because we got a lot to get into, starting with trying to find out, you know, if he's Team Biggie or Team Tupac. Where's he at?
He's
He is on Black People time. Yeah, how surprising is that for Black people? Black people on Black People time. Love to see it. Well, again, as you guys know, I'm Team Biggie. Have represented the estate of Afeni Shakur, so obviously a fan of Tupac Shakur, but Team Biggie. We will, when Twan gets here, we will definitely find out which team he's on, because that's important, because that kind of sets the stage for how we're going to interact on the show, what team you're on. Okay, so we'll get right into it. The What the Bleep person of the day is actually 2 people. The 2 people are 2 EMS workers in Illinois, Peggy Finley and Peter Kadiga. They are being held in county jail right now on $1 million bond for murder of Earl Moore Jr. on December 18th, 2022. Peggy and Peter responded, they're paramedics. They responded to Earl Moore Jr.'s home for a medical emergency. And the body cam footage, you can hear them being aggressive, saying, "We don't have time for stupid stuff," speaking to him very aggressively, being aggressive with him. And then they proceed to strap a man who's medically struggling, a Black man, so we're clear, who is medically struggling without checking his vitals, even though I'm not an EMS person. And I know just from my watching shows and stuff that the paramedics got to check your vitals. they got to check your vitals. That's like the baseline thing to do. They did not check his vitals and then placed him on a gurney in face down and strapped him down onto the gurney face down, basically in prone position. But the reason why they got charged is because Cadigan lied, saying that in his interview, saying that he never received any training on what could happen if you strap someone down in the prone position, which is basically that they could die. So he claimed, oh, no. Nobody ever told me, that if you strap someone who's medically struggling and don't take their vitals first, that they could die. He lied about that. Then homegirl lied. Peggy Finley, show their faces clearly, please, because they're criminals. One, Peggy Finley asked, when officers finally responded to the scene, she asked the officers to basically fabricate Moore's status, like to basically say he's alive or doing better than he was. Then she lied and said that they had the lights and sirens on the ambulance. If you guys don't know, lights and sirens indicate and signal that the person that's in the ambulance is alive or that they're going to a scene. So, when you see ambulance with lights and sirens and they're empty, that's because they're going to the emergency. But once they have someone in the ambulance and the lights and sirens on, it's to indicate to hospital staff, emergency medical staff, once they get into the bay, hey, this person that's in here needs immediate attention because they're still alive. So the records show, the video show, lights and sirens were off. But when she was interviewed initially, her statement was taken. She lied and said, oh, yeah, lights and sirens were on because he was alive. So apparently they already knew that putting him in prone position could cause him to die, put him in prone position, caused his death, and then lied about it. It's another day with dealing with white supremacy. I mean, like, so the statement from the county paramedics is that they acted indifferently to a patient's condition. I just don't understand. I don't understand what goes through your mind as an EMS worker. And this applies to negligent, bad apple, terrible police officers as well. Like, what is going through your mind? You are supposed to respond to medical emergencies. You see someone in distress having a medical emergency, and you're like, you know what? Instead of treating this person the way that I've been trained, what I've been doing for my entire career, because it's a Black person, I'm going to treat them negligently, hurt them, and disrespect them, and kill them because, hey, maybe, there'll be no accountability because what does this person's life matter? I guess, like, I don't see what the train of thought would be when we're doing it. Like, I get the fact that they may or may not have liked the way that their interaction went, but that doesn't take away their duty to care about someone who's in medical distress when their one job is to treat people who are in medical distress. That's all I'm trying to say. So, my thoughts and prayers are with Earl Moore Jr.'s family. I hope that they receive justice in this case, in this horrible, atrocious, ridiculous case. And it's not just EMS workers that don't care, that act indifferently towards Black people. We've had discussions about, disparities in the medical field, how there's high maternal mortality rates for Black women who give birth and things like that. Like, there's just so much wrapped up in the medical field and how Black people are treated in medical. So I love to see Black doctors. I love to see Black paramedics. I love to see Black firefighters. And it's not that, it's just a matter of treating people with respect and dignity. In this particular case, I don't think Earl Moore Jr. was asking for anything different, better, or special, just to be treated as you would treat anybody else. Put me on the gurney in the regular position that you're trained to put people on a gurney in, so that I have a chance or an opportunity to fight for my life without also having to fight against the people who are supposed to be saving my life. I don't think he was asking for too much. I really don't. But really, really crazy and sad story. Okay, it's Black History Month. So let's talk about Black history real quick. We'll keep it light because the What the Bleep Person of the Day story was very, very heavy. Okay, so something super historical happened this week. Benjamin L. Crump gets an entire law school, St. Thomas Law School, named after him, the Benjamin L. Crump School of Law. Historic because only one other Black man in history has had a law school named after him, which happens to be Ben's hero, Thurgood Marshall. So super exciting. Black America's Attorney General has a school named after him. Obviously, I was super hyped. We were all super hyped. It was a crazy, just historical moment, emotional moment. And it's going to be insane that people are going to have on their resumes, and their legacy is going to be that they went to law school at the Benjamin L. Crump Law School. And he was presented with a proclamation from the city, which was awesome. He got very emotional during his remarks, which, for someone who is in our field and does what he does day after day, it was beautiful to see him get his flowers. It's always good to see people who deserve and have earned their flowers receive their flowers while they're still here. So super proud, super excited. I saw the sign. I was just like, wow, can't believe it. I think we all were just in awe, like, wow, because we know how much he sacrifices, what he does, that he always responds. Even for me personally, like if I call him, if we need something, he's always there for everybody. And so for him to have that honor is just so beyond appropriate. He's great. So we're excited. We're happy. Cannot wait to see. As a matter of fact, I got so excited. This is me as a friend. Me as a friend is Ben gets a school of law named after him. I'm like, you know what? A card just isn't going to do it for a law school. You know what I mean? Like card, flowers, not going to do it. So myself and the whole Ben Crump Florida law team, we got Ben a billboard leading to off of 826, leading to where Benjamin L. Crump School of Law is located. So I'll post that on. I think I posted it yesterday, but I can post it on IG. Super fun. I didn't get there yet, but thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. So it was super exciting. What do you get for somebody who has a law school named after them? You know what I mean? It's like, what do you do? So just honored to be there, excited for him. And there's no one more deserving to, have that legacy. Will Smith pulled up, which was a super dope moment. He was super, super gracious. He made an anonymous donation to the school, which was great. And, the point was made that this school is going to train the new generation of attorneys, lawyers who hopefully will follow in Ben Crump's footsteps and work in civil rights litigation, because Lord knows there are unfortunately enough cases to go around. So the reason why we do this work and why it's the most important work of our time is because we hope that eventually we won't be fighting for equality, that we will at some point have equality. So I'm excited about that. Now, the next kind of Black History Month news is that the iconic salsa artist, Celia Cruz, use your Googles if you don't know. She's a 4-time Grammy winner. She was born in Havana, Cuba. She was exiled because she did this tour in Mexico. Iconic salsa singer. And I totally relate to her because she was a woman in salsa at a time when it was dominated by men. That genre of music was dominated by men, which I'm sure was super hard for her. Definitely was hard for her. They had a 20-part mini series about her life on Netflix a few years ago that I watched, loved. But her face is going to be on the quarter. So that's very exciting. The U.S. Mint picked 4 or 5 women, and she's one of the women, which is dope. Our first Afro-Latina to have that honor. And I'm excited for her. I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to get my Celia Cruz coins and to use them somewhere. So I'm looking forward to it. Okay. So is Twan still on Black People Time? Huh? Okay, cool. So I don't need to ask him if he's going to stick around for this part of the adult table because he's not here. So we going into it. Okay, so first of all, I am super excited to have Natasha Harrison here. Natasha Harrison, Esquire, a Florida native, a kick-ass sister-in-the-law, a badass litigator. See what I did there? And my cast member from Ready to Love season 7, definitely gone too soon. Natasha, where is she? Is she on Black People Time too? She was here.
She got brush her hair.
In the building. Period. What is up? You brought Demario in, didn't intro Demario, but that's fine. I could do it right now. It's cool.
Yeah.
We freestyle it. Okay. Demario Cash. Accounting executive, man of mystery, traveler extraordinaire, fashion guy, conversationalist, and most importantly, a thinker. Me, Demario, and Natasha had our own conversation that was not on air at the mixer. So we have our own stories. We have our own inside jokes. That one day will be in our memoirs. So cheers to both of you guys. Listen, I love you both. I saw the fear in Demario's eyes. Like he's like, "What is she about to say that we said?" Right. We didn't listen. I'm gonna tell you right now. If there was 3 nerds on the show, it was us.
That's what they say.
We were over there trying to figure out liability, how much stuff costs, what's gonna happen with the unions. Like we were like, "What is going on here?" We were the brains of the operation. We were like, "Wait a minute." So the Kirkland liquor, okay, so that's probably what like
why they do us like that? Like the family pack from Sam's, like what's going on?
What is going on
like,
here?
We didn't get this far for Kirkland. Like, for real.
No, we definitely, we were analyzing a lot of things, which I think, for better or for worse. I was listening to this NPR news story the other day, and they were saying that dating requires a certain level of intellectual, not dishonesty, but like you got to kind of not try to analyze and intellectualize every single thing. And when I heard that, I thought of us. I was like, damn.
That sounds like what I say that you like, I gotta be stupid to date.
Well, it wasn't saying be stupid.
That's what it sounded like to me.
But it was like, things, matters of the heart are not necessarily to be analyzed the way that we would analyze a legal situation or an Excel spreadsheet or whatever, which I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I think that, you got to lead with your heart. It's not like I don't think any of us necessarily lead conversation or life with our jobs. I think we're all, fortunate to be at a stage in our careers where we don't have to do that. We can kind of lead with our personalities or something else.
I mean, I don't know, but when they're saying analyze the date, like what exactly does that mean? Because are they saying like, Suan, you'll relate to this phrase, but like check my common sense at the door. Like, what am I?
I don't know if it wasn't necessarily common sense. It was just saying that sometimes when you're in a relationship or you're in the initial phases of a relationship, that the other person and even you are going to have some faux pas. Not talking about like red flag stuff or toxicity or whatever, but if you sit there and try to like nitpick and analyze every single thing that the person does and try to make it add up to something, that can prevent you from having that emotional vulnerability, because you're kind of in this intellectual kind of thing. Definitely not, it wasn't a story saying to ignore things. It was more like, okay, if somebody, leaves dirty clothes on the floor, it doesn't necessarily have to be analyzed as this person doesn't care about me. They don't care about themselves. They're just kind of cheat intellectually. And, if they're obviously, if it's a pattern and they're doing it all the time, we're also trained to find patterns, then that's a different story. But it definitely was an element just saying to kind of lead with in romantic love situations that it requires, less intellectualism.
I don't think so, though. I think you got to be yourself. Like, there's some dumb people out here for real. Like,
you said some dumb people.
I'm not dating that. Like, you're not dating. You're not dating that. You didn't come too far. You didn't get the education. You don't go to work every day. You don't talk to successful people every day to dumb yourself down. Like, that's not what we're doing.
I think it's like you don't speak on everything. That's one thing I've learned. But I'm not gonna like just completely turn it off. Right. And that's what I meant about like checking it at the door. Like, I'm not checking nothing at the door. I just may not speak on it or jump to that conclusion.
Give us an example of what you don't speak on, though, because it's a thin line.
Yeah, I mean, even like the example of like leaving the dirty clothes on the floor or whatever. Like, I'm not immediately going to jump to say like, oh, that means that this person is messy. And I'm not even going to say anything about it, but I'm just going to, it's like a mental note. And the way I process dating now is the things that I don't like, whether it's like a characteristic or just, something that I know that I don't like those things, I just process it as a turnoff. So some turnoffs are like immediately like I'm completely turned off by this person, and other turnoffs are just like, okay, that's a little bit, bit of a turnoff. And then those little turnoffs will eventually reach a certain level with some people that you're turned off by them, but I'm not just going to let like something that's not an immediate turn off turn me off of them. When before I'd be like, like you heard how he said the word, whatever. And I would just be like, and I couldn't get past it because I'm like letting it like soak in too much. So I'm not going to check any of that. And I'm not going to ignore it, but I'm not going to just immediately like write somebody off about it, because you got to give people grace, and you got to understand that sometimes like they're not really showing their full selves, or it might be a bad day or something like that. Like, there's just so many things that could come into play. And I think that may be the analysis portion of it. Like, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater type thing, because
if he say salmon, if he pronounce the L, like what you gonna do?
So that I would speak up. I'd be like, do you always say the L, or was that a slip? Like, I would say something.
She would say that too. She would.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask, but I mean that's fixable. Maybe his mama says salmon or something.
Do you think that's fixable, or is that a deal breaker?
40, that's fixable.
Huh?
Is that a deal breaker for you, Demario? If someone says salmon, is that a deal breaker?
That happened to me before.
Was it a deal breaker?
It wasn't a deal breaker, but I was
not wife material.
No, not necessarily. I mean, like it's fixable, but it's like
how this is what I'm curious about as the person who's receiving that, right? Like, so you always say the L. How does that person feel in a dating, and I think their response is what's going to make it a deal breaker or not. If I say, hey, do you, which I probably wouldn't, I would just kind of be like, okay. And then later on be like, girl, Natasha, let me tell you. But if someone said that, and then it depends how they respond. Like if they were like, oh, well, how is it said? Or, oh, I didn't know. Or that was just a slip. I'm just, being funny or whatever. then I guess you could be like, okay, but if they're like, no, that if somebody start arguing with me and going to Google Translate to prove to me that it's really salmon when it's not and stuff like that, then I'd be like, okay.
So that's what taking like something that could be a little minor turn off into like a deal breaker, because it's like now I've seen it, let me see more of your personality. And sometimes I will push the envelope on certain things because I want to go ahead and like, let me see who you really are.
After it.
I'm
Yeah,
dating
like,
intention. I'm not going to sit here and play with you for 3 months, 2-3 months and just see what.
After I heard you say salmon, oh, I see Mark Anthony's here.
But I actually had a conversation with my little cousin, and she's brilliant, and she refuses to not say the L. And, we grew up pretty much the same, and we had that conversation all the time. And when she says it, I'll be like, girl. And she'll be like, it has an L in it. Like, it's just a thing with her. And so I can't ignore that. That's part of, what I'm bringing to the table. So I would, what I'm saying? Like, try to give somebody else that kind of grace too. But I don't know.
Brilliant people say the L too. Okay.
yeah, so
That's
we giving grace. We giving grace.
Let me have Mark Anthony, young, black, and dangerous, the curveball that shook up the world on Ready to Love season 7. He flies planes and
hey, what's going on? What's going on?
Mark Anthony.
What's popping?
How y'all doing? How's everybody going? How's everybody
Good.
doing tonight?
Very good.
This is crazy.
Mark
I've
Anthony,
never
let me
been
ask you-
on any YouTube live in my life.
Well, I'm excited to pop your cherry on that.
Oh, so you got 2 in a row. You just did Instagram live the other day.
Yeah, and it was my first time. But let's rephrase the term "pop my cherry." You know what I mean? I don't want to.
Okay, fine. How would you like it to be first?
No, I don't know. This is my first time on both platforms, so
Okay.
it's pretty exciting.
Well, we're honored to have you here.
And I'm
Very
honored
exciting.
to be in front of you guys.
So how have you been? What's been going on?
Man, I've been all right, man. New York's been cold as usual, so I've been trying to adapt. Being in Miami, back and forth, it's been difficult. But I mean, it's cool for the most part, though. So it's
Well, you look good. Friend.
I'm adjusting.
Everybody looks good, by
I
the way.
appreciate
Natasha,
it. Thank
DeMario, I appreciate y'all.
Everybody,
Appreciate you.
As
I
do you.
appreciate
you guys should have told me. I would have came dressed up a little bit better.
I
But I thought, since we're in a house with it.
Oh, that's
Oh, y'all
the
see
hoodie.
oh.
I see you.
Oh, I didn't know it was a
I see.
hoodie. I thought it was like a dress.
Listen, I have on my whole
Oh,
gym
that's
attire because I have Pilates later, so it's all good. We good.
Yeah, but you
know,
have
like,
law books in the
you-
background and everything, so
I'm at the office. The adult table is at work right now.
That's
Okay?
what I was gonna say. The adult
Oh,
you
okay.
can come as you are to the adult table.
You really can. As long
Okay,
as you're
fair
an
enough.
adult,
Fair.
pull up.
Mm-hmm.
Adults only.
fair
That's the only caveat. You got to be grown. You got to be an adult.
You gotta be grown.
So I like.
Yeah. All right, that's
How do you pronounce the pink
The pink
Fish.
fish. Pause.
that?
Salmon.
Okay, I thought so. You know, Mark Anthony is a very classy guy. Don't sleep.
I appreciate that.
Me and Anthony went on the most
there's
dates.
people I know who
Me
say
and Mark
salmon,
Anthony went on the most dates.
but I
Oh,
think-
y'all went on the most
Oh.
dates? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
We did
Wow.
with each other.
Yeah, I think aside from like my main connection, Suwan and I definitely went on most dates. I'm like, well, I mean, at this point, I might as well leave with Suwan. You know what I mean?
You know,
It was- no, it
hey,
was cool time.
y'all
That's
got to
the reason why-
tune in.
remember that's the reason why in one of the episodes, that just happened, I was able to know a lot. I was like, oh, okay. Suwan knows. I know she's from Barbados. I know she's a mix between Rihanna and Claire Huxtable. I know you got like 6 brothers. Like I'm able to retain all of that because I'm like I've been talking to Suwan. I've been like 3-4 dates with Suwan already, so I know
Yeah.
a lot about her.
We were squad by
But how
then.
you
We
guys
already
know, man?
squad.
Oh
We were
yeah,
like
we
Cameron
squad up.
Boyd.
We squad up.
Mark
Yeah,
Anthony, DeMario, Natasha, because it's your first time on. I know Natasha has tuned in before, so she knows when we do this. She knows we do this game. And Mark Anthony has seen it. I don't know if DeMario has seen it, but we do like a most likely to.
Um,
I was hoping we played this.
and then you have to point. So, point.
Up, down,
Okay, so
left, right.
am I? Wait. I'm pointing at Swan right now.
Okay,
Pointing at
right.
Demario,
And then
I was
maybe
pointing
like in between will be Natasha for you.
Yeah, Natasha.
Okay, you guys ready?
This.
Like if I point this way, it's Mark Anthony. There you go.
No, you have to point the other way.
No, you got to point the other way.
Yeah.
Why?
Because
Yeah,
remember,
no,
like
the other way.
the screen. No. Use your other way. Because remember, like it mirrors, so you have to go the opposite.
It's the opposite. Yeah.
But on my
Yes.
screen, it doesn't look like
Now you're
that.
pointing at me. It's not gonna look like that on the screen, but it's gonna look.
We're
like
gonna
that.
just so then just say it then if we can't tell.
We'll just say our names. Yeah. We'll just say.
Alright,
We'll
bet.
just say the person. Yeah.
Okay, are you guys ready?
Right. Yeah, we ready.
Okay. Most likely to take a week to reply to a text. How do I do it?
Natasha just gives me that feel.
I don't know. I
Natasha just
think
gives me
it's
that
me.
feel where she
I don't know.
text.
Thank you,
Read
Mark.
it.
Let's go to Natasha.
That's Natasha. She just gives me that look.
She ain't replying. She
She's
ain't
gonna
replying to
she's gonna
nobody.
curve my text.
It's the right
Natasha is not
answer.
fast, but she's not a week.
I do it.
We believe it. I believe it.
It's sometimes longer, and I will say that I'll see. Sometimes I reply in my brain, and then sometimes I don't hit send, and other times I just didn't see it, and I'll see a blue dot, and I literally will. It could be a month, and whatever the question is, how are you? And I'm like, I'm great. Da da da. Like this.
Hi.
So what's the ready-made excuse when you send the text back? Because there's always some ready-made excuse.
Ooh.
No, I don't. That's what I'm saying. I literally just answer the question.
Oh, you just send it back.
Oh, you just answered the question like 3 days
You
later?
answer the question a week later.
Well, 3 days is okay sometimes. That's okay.
Man, 3 days, I could have died. I could have became an astronaut by the time. Like, man, it's 3 days is like.
You gotta reply. You gotta work on that in 2020.
I am working on it.
You better reply.
She's not working on it.
You gotta start replying.
And that's why I'm able to so quickly say me, because I'm actively working on it. First, you have to be aware of the
Acknowledge
issue.
it. Fact.
Yes,
You
exactly.
acknowledge.
I'm
So
in like
it's-
stage 3 of recovery.
So if y'all slide in her DMs, just hold on. She coming.
Hold
And
on
don't
for a
be
long
afraid
time.
But don't be
No,
afraid.
we're not double texting. No. I know.
Don't be afraid to
No,
double
no
text.
double text. Do not double
Nah.
text.
What?
You're
What's
beasting.
wrong
You're
with? Okay,
beasting.
let me say this.
No,
Can I say something?
No.
I
we're
am
doing
not
that.
a weak responder, but sometimes I get distracted
Yeah.
by other things. And so sometimes I forget that I'm in a conversation. Okay, because then I get distracted by another conversation. So it's not necessarily a double text. It's more like a question mark or like, are you still there? Like Netflix. Like Netflix.
No, I think my problem is like the thread is too far down.
That's what I'm saying. If you
And I
double
don't
text
see
it, move
it.
it up.
You know what I'm saying? So like if 10 people done text since you text, I'm not gonna catch it. So
That's why
You know,
I'm saying
you gotta-
a double text is okay.
What's wrong with a
I'm
double
not
text,
double
Mark
texting.
Anthony?
I am not. No,
I'm
because
worth
I
it.
sent you that
I promise
text.
I'm worth it.
That means you're gonna have to find some time to answer me. I can't send another text, kind of being like, "Oh, come on, Natasha." It's basically saying, "Natasha, please hit me back. Like, hit me back, yo. Why
What's
aren't you
wrong
hitting me
with
back?"
that?
No.
no, because you know you're not enough.
Yeah.
Obviously, if
You
you
get
on that
one
person's mind and
text.
y'all communicate.
Okay, is it different if you're dating than if it's like your friend? Can you double text your homeboy or your homegirl?
Oh yeah. I'm like, if I need something, yo, what's going on with you? Like, you better hit me back.
Or you
Like,
didn't
that's
respond.
my
I
man,
just
though.
seen you
That's my
on IG.
I just hit you on IG.
Okay.
What's going on? But if we're dating, it's kind of like, nah, I gotta make sure. You know, I got a little bit of ego too, a little bit. So it's like, you saw the text, you gotta respond.
I will say that there is a difference. If it's someone that I'm actively dating, then like I said, I date with intention. So even if I miss the message, I'm going to reach out to them a lot sooner than that anyway. So if I miss the text message completely, and then I'm going to think of them regardless and be like, oh, dang, I haven't talked to him all day or in a few hours or whatever. And then I'll see the message. And then that's typically when it'll be like, oh, shoot, I didn't even see your message. Like, da 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 da. But that's because I'm talking to that person like every day. But if it's someone that's just like here and there, I don't talk to them regularly, I'm not checking for it that way. And there absolutely has been times where I go to text someone that pops into my head and I see a message from 2 weeks ago that I'm like, oh, oopsie. Like, so it happened. My bad. God know my heart.
Fair enough. God know my heart, but I don't.
Mark Anthony's definitely not double texting.
Unless you his homeboy.
Unless you my man's, yeah. Because now it's like you got
it depends on the vibes, I think. Like, and you know, if somebody double texts me, it doesn't bother me because, like, what Demario
doesn't bother you though.
Sometimes it's
not gonna bother you.
Way further down. So if you be like, "Hey, girl," I'll be like, "Oh yeah. What's up?"
Nah.
Yeah, but Sue, you're the recipient of the double text, so that's fine. You know what I mean? The guy doing the double texting is the person whose ego's hurt. Like,
but we don't look at you either. We're not looking at you like, look at this texting me 2 times in a row. I'm thankful. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad he messaged me again because I missed this. How thoughtful of him.
I don't know. Sometimes I hear like a woman look at her text and be like, "Oh my God, get off my body!" Like, come on.
Those are New York. Those are women in New York. Okay.
No, in 2 days, you gotta text somebody else.
Look. The hardware may be different, but the software is the same.
Listen, I don't get in trouble for responding text late. I do get in trouble because my phone is always dead. Oh my God.
You guys don't charge.
And Marcia can attest to it. It's terrible. And I don't want to walk around with 2 phones. I hate that. I hate the battery thing on the phone. I want my phone to be cute.
Oh yeah.
And you text back a dude, the phone hangs up, and then you're like, "Oh, my phone died."
I've experienced that too. Your phone has died while we're on the phone at least 3 times. Like,
it's real. It's real. Okay.
Wait, hold up. I don't understand this. Because I can't remember the last time I've ever had my phone die on me ever. Unless, like, because everywhere I go, there's an outlet somewhere and somebody has a charger. And if I know I'm going to be talking to you on the phone for a long time, then I know that, all right, my battery's going to run out soon. Somebody has an outlet. I'm somewhere where I have an outlet where I could just, or a charger.
It's true, okay?
It's not in the middle of the conversation I've had my phone die on me.
But are y'all a texter or a talker though? Because I feel like Mark may be a talker. Sue-Ann may be a texter. Natasha, you just gotta answer the phone.
I'm a texter.
You gotta be very special for me to sit and talk to you on the phone. You gotta be very special. But I do expect if I'm dating someone to not just text me all the time. That will irk me because I don't even know your voice inflection. Like, I'm gonna be quick to be like, can you call me? Like, I'm gonna be direct like that, but I can't really do texting all the time. But I think the phone dying might be a girl thing. I do have one friend that she's the worst. Like, literally, her phone is always dead. But I can say that I can be sitting here right here. What's my battery on? 32% on low battery mode. So I live on low battery mode and I'll be sitting right in the house. I wake up in the morning, I'll be on 2%. Like, I don't know.
What?
Charger right there.
My phone be dead. I don't charge mine when I go to sleep. My phone be dead on arrival.
Oh man, I charge my phone like at 75% right now. And even then I'm like, I need to start charging that.
But that's New York though. You gotta have
are you guys ready for the next question? Because the next question is, this is a hard one because I don't know. It may be easy. Most likely to sleep with their ex.
Not me. Mm-hmm.
I'm
I
Sagittarius.
don't know why, but I'm just gonna say
I'm gonna
Demario.
say
Won't
Demario.
spin the block. Sagittarius
I'm gonna
won't
say
spin the
Demario,
block.
whichever way he is.
Anthony said Natasha. Why Anthony?
No,
Oh,
that was already up there. That
okay,
was
Anthony said Marcia's in the comments as well. So let's see what Marcia voted.
Anthony,
Natasha
what up?
was already up
Marcia,
there
what
from
up?
Anthony. He didn't
Marcia
say,
said crickets. I'm finished.
hold on, pause. Because
Anthony
you put
said
Anthony said Natasha.
Natasha.
Wow. Dr.
Anthony
Anthony
said
said
So you never slept with an ex?
he said what he said.
I don't even want to talk to them after I break up. Like that's why that's like not a accurate response. Anybody who knows me knows that I'm a Scorpio. Like once we're done, like it's like a light switch. I'm on or off. You can never turn the light back on.
Demario's Libra ass.
So wait, no. But that secretly unveils something. That must mean you always have like tough breakups where you're like, I can't talk to
I never have like the breakups be like soft. It'd be soft.
Oh, you never like
It
a
don't be
soft
hard.
breakup? It's always
Yeah.
like.
So you mean like you softly sleep with her one last time and then
Like it's never a hard no. I never can come back type of
Right.
deal. It's
How,
always,
what is a soft breakup? Now Demario got me curious. How does this go?
I'm saying like it's never. It's never hard. Like I never say this person is out of my life because I don't believe. I believe people. I give people chances. Like
He said lies.
huh?
Anthony said lies.
Anthony said
Like,
lies.
I feel like
Okay, so does
I
a
feel
soft breakup mean that you gonna spin the block? And
I just leave it open.
That's a good
I leave the
question.
door open.
I was gonna say that's why it's soft, so you can bend
Yeah.
the block a little more comfortably.
Yeah, like you don't say I never talk to you again, and like just unless I'm disrespected, then I completely cut it off. But like if it's something that could be worked out and it just didn't happen, like cool, like we don't talk, we don't go together, but you know it's all love, whatever. You know what I mean?
Sue Ann responds within 48 hours. I do.
So
I
I
do.
think
Yeah,
the
2
issue-
days.
I think the issue with me on this question is that
We do leave
it's
the door
not that
open.
it has to be a hard breakup, but I've never dated anyone that didn't still want to be together. So it ends up becoming confrontational because they still want to come back and I'm done. So it's like
Done.
I've even tried to be friends with them, and then when they try to like move back into that spot, and I'm like no, then they want to get attitude. So I'm just like I don't even do that no more. Like I'll speak, I'll say hey, but I don't.
Right.
I'm done. Like we're done. I'm moving on with my life, and so no guy that I date from now to forever will ever have to worry about like an ex with me ever.
Okay. What about spinning the block on a situationship?
I mean,
Not
that's
an
different.
actual relationship.
Oh, they
That's different.
That's
They
different.
the queens of that.
That's
Demario,
They
that's
spin all the
different.
time.
Yo, situationships are like revolving doors. Like there is no closed doors. It's a situationship. You know what it was. was. So it's like, yo, it's like one of those revolving doors. There is no shutdown.
It was
So
never
it's
shut
like,
down.
yeah.
Okay.
It was never
What
shut
about
down
when you're in
unless
a-
like. My bad. What?
I was just saying, what about when you're in a relationship?
Oh,
Does
no,
the
if you're in a relationship.
situationship get shut down?
Well, yeah. I was assuming if we were all single.
Okay.
But if you're in a relationship, that's shut down. But let's say the moment the relationship dissolves, yeah, I'm right back in the situationship. I'm making calls. Like, what's going on? Right back to it. Right back to it.
Anthony is the
Let's
most
go. Make the calls,
transparent
man.
in the world. Okay, when he gets his wife, he gonna be telling her exactly what the hell it is. No,
Yeah, I'm gonna tell her right before she becomes my wife, so she knows.
She gonna know exactly what it is. When
Mark
he's like, I
Anthony-
want to marry you, he really means that shit. Like, it's not gonna be like,
That's a fact. That's
Mark
a fact.
Anthony, like
That is a full
the
fact.
old school player with the black book. Remember, like the old school like little black book.
Nah,
You give everybody name and number.
I don't have it like
DeMario,
that.
after your
I don't have it
okay,
like that.
how do you know who does the person that you if you've had a situationship, I don't know.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you tell them about your relationship?
I'm very transparent about it. So that's the thing about me is that like the soft is that they know I deal, as you can see my following on my IG, like I'm very transparent that women are into me. Like I'm not hiding it. So like a lot of
I'm not hiding it.
a lot of
How are you
dudes
showing it?
No, I'm just saying, like, if they comment or whatever, like a lot of dudes just don't show it. It's like I may show it and say, like, hey, that girl is feeling me, or like they may see it. I don't run from it. So it's a different from somebody who don't show that women are interested in them. So they may think they're locked into that one person, which is cool. But I'm like, you know what I'm saying? So
Somebody said, I ain't locked in with you, friend. So I don't know what you're talking about.
So I'm open. I'm open with it. Like
okay.
Yeah.
So you would say to a situationship, hey, I'm gonna see how this goes. So just be on pause.
Yeah, but if I want to take that next step, like I definitely set those boundaries and be like, hey, I want to move to, being exclusive or being in a relationship. But I'm definitely open until, them clamps on there.
Do you tell Natasha? If you've ever been in a situationship, hey, I'm going to be in a relationship, or no?
They'll figure it out when I don't respond in longer than a week.
Yo, Natasha is hardcore.
Wow.
Hey, nah.
I can see the
Yo,
that goes back to you not replying to text. You got a method to that.
Woo!
I don't.
See, Mark Anthony be knowing.
Mario said that, but I let things happen organically. I don't think that it's appropriate to have a rule like how some people are like, oh, you should always say this and da 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 da. Some people, if you say something to them, they're gonna be like, okay, and like you got to feel the situation out. I've only ever had one legitimate like situationships in my life. And he definitely like would, you know what I'm saying? Like know that, okay, like Natasha got a man. But if it was a situation like that where it was, I don't know, like somebody that I'm trying to explore, because that's what it was before, like kind of trying and just seeing like, oh, could this be? And it's like, we just didn't fit like that. But if it was like one of those things, then I would say to them like, hey, I'm going to go this other way. Like I've definitely done that before more than once. Even though I tell my single friends and I'll tell any like younger woman, even a guy, like don't date just one person at a time. I can't do it. Like I struggle with this so bad. So I will, if a guy's like not doing what he needs to do and I'm kind of like fizzling out, I'll kind of tell them, oh, I'm talking to somebody else before, just because I want to go talk to somebody else, because I want them to move out of the way so that I can't go talk to other people. But
okay, savagery. Wow. Okay.
What about you, Sue? We didn't hear you now.
What about me?
Yeah, I need to hear this. Yeah, you need to answer your own question.
Your situationships. You got some.
We would like to know, do you curve your situationships? Do you let your situationship know, whoever you're in a situationship with, that you're currently in a relationship, or do you, like Natasha, kind of let them figure it out and then let them kind of dissipate?
Okay. So I can't think of, wait, hold on. I think I'd just say, I'd be like, hey, I'm trying something, so back up.
So you get a boot. You out of here.
Yeah, and then the problem is, for me, I'm not gonna spend that block. I'm just not gonna spend that block. I haven't, God willing, I just have not been in a situation where I've been so, I don't want to use a vulgar word, into the situationship physically that I can't just be like, I'm good.
Okay.
So
all right.
If I'm telling you that I'm pursuing something else, then and we've had that conversation, then just know, like, I'm not we're not spinning the block on in that way. Like we still gonna be cool. Like we still gonna be, you know, hey, what's up? You good? You good? I'm good. I'm good. But not, you know, other things.
Oh, okay.
How was that answer?
Okay, so okay,
It
that was
wasn't,
good. But
but
I
you
guess to
just-
clarify my position, like when I said like I'll go back to the situationship, that doesn't mean I'm keeping up with the situationship at the same time I'm in a relationship. Like,
Right.
I'm just saying, like that's done. Yeah, that's done. But like it could be like 2 years, 3 years later. I'm like, I'll just send her a text to see if that's even the same number. You know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, why not? Why
Because
not?
you're like,
If I'm out
single.
of if I'm out of relationship, yeah, I'm single. You know, I might as well, you know, start trying to reach for my resources, whatever I got.
Hey,
So,
I am obsessed with
I gotta
Mark
start making
Anthony's transparency. Obsessed.
I gotta
Okay?
start making moves, man. Like,
Listen, the reason why Mark Anthony ain't never gonna have no problems, because he keep it real. Okay?
yes, most definitely.
That right there. So who is most likely to give out a fake phone number?
You?
Ooh, I feel Natasha would do this.
No.
I have a feeling. No. Here's the thing. I feel like Natasha will give the fake number. Suanne will give her work number. Like.
I think it's Sue Ann.
No.
I think
You told me I didn't get paid.
It's definitely Sue Ann. She gonna get a fake number.
I feel like Suanne will give her work number. Like you're gonna get bill. You're gonna get a bill at the end of this conversation.
No, she gonna get the Google.
But
She
Natasha will
gonna
be like,
get
"Nah,
the
I'm not
Google.
interested. You're getting a fake number. That is the Google number."
Well,
Sue Ann gonna
Okay,
get
let
a
me just
Google,
say this.
for sure.
I have been, even when I was in high school, I had a business card. Okay. I had a business card in high school, had my little name, had my hours you could call my crib when I was in high school. So this, I'm not new to this, I'm true to this. Okay. This is really who I am. Okay. But I definitely will give a business card or my work number and be like, call the office. And then, you know, the gatekeepers
There it
know.
is. I knew it. I know Suanne. I know
I'm like, okay. What? So what case are you calling in reference to? Don't have a case? Okay. We know what time it is. So appreciate you, Mark Anthony. That's factual. And Demario,
No doubt.
no fake numbers. Maybe a fake. Well, I don't give out a fake name, but I will not accurately represent my job. So if somebody says, "What do you do?" I'll say, "I work in a law office." But I don't say.
So
I'm
we don't
a
know
lawyer.
whether you're the lawyer or the paralegal or whoever.
Yes. That's exactly it. I will misrepresent about that. I won't say it directly, but that's just because there's so much stereotypes, right, Natasha? So it's like, it's just easier to like start a conversation and say law office as opposed to being lawyer and then get the whole, oh, okay, so you're going to cross-examine me, you know?
mm-hmm.
It's like, give me a chance. I didn't say salmon, for God's sakes.
All right, then I have to ask you, since you guys are both attorneys, do you guys feel like sometimes you do fall into the stereotype? Let's say like in the middle of talking to somebody, you feel like, oh shit, I feel like I'm interrogating this. I'm actually cross-examining this person instead of actually getting to know this person.
I don't.
You don't? Just pure convo.
For me, cross-examination is a different person. Like the energy is different, my vibe is different, my facial expression, what I'm wearing, how I'm doing, my whole mindset, I'm in the game. It's like completely different. So if I'm just kicking it and talking to somebody or somebody's hollering or whatever the case may be, then I'm not lawyer Suanne at all. I'm absolutely just woman Suanne in conversation. So no, I don't cross-examine people, but there is a stereotype, you know, that if I'm talking, because you are a lawyer, if you ask a question, it is a cross-examination. And it's like, no, that's not cute. Everybody says that. That's not cool. That's not fun. Everybody's not doing that.
So can I ask y'all, what's y'all biggest obstacle with dating as a lawyer?
So the first thing that most people say, like, oh, you like to argue. And it's like, I'm good at it. It's my job. I don't like to do it for free or my personal time, but I feel like it's not fair for me to argue with a layperson. Like, it's just not going to be fair. Like, if we really finna go at it and argue, then it's not going to be fair because I'm going to bring up facts from 2 years ago or before we were even dating, or what about this and and all they're gonna do, which is how one of our relationships went, just get louder and want to yell. And I'm gonna say, okay, well, when you're ready to, actually debate this and like go back and forth with some hard, facts, then we can talk again. And that's just gonna eat someone up. So I don't do it like that. Like Sue-Ann said, that's me in my role. And it really is like a Sasha Fierce type thing. Like, you're a different person. Your mindset is different. The way you like analyze and like process what's going on and how you even present it back is different. Like, it's not like a conversation where it's like 1, 2, 3, like, especially for cross-examination, you might go 1, 17, 3, like the order of it's so weird because the motivation and like what you're trying to do in that situation is totally different than how you would act normally. And I hated it so much that for the first few years of practicing, I straight up used to lie about what I did. I first said that I did makeup at MAC, and then I said that something else.
Of a career turn.
I used to say that I sold carpets or rugs because no one would have any questions then, and they would just be like, "Well,
any questions?"
I would have questions. I'll be like, who sells rugs? I like, what kind of rugs are you selling? What's going on?
That's it though. And I would be like, actually, it's a very lucrative business. I kind of fell into it and I love it. And then it'd be done. But if you're meeting a new group of people, and I was given the name the lit lawyer because I was very lit. So people were like, wait, you're a lawyer, like a real lawyer? Oh, you the lit lawyer. So that's like where that came from. And it really is like a balance of living my best life and being a litigation attorney. Like, it's a balance. And once they hear like, oh, you a lawyer? Like, oh, dang. Well, my cousin, this one time, and then it's like, oh, well, like, do you handle these kind of cases? Oh, can I ask you this question real quick? And it's like, I just want to drink and like party in Vegas. Like, I don't want to talk about that right now. So it's, it just became easier to.
Or just tell them to pay your retainer fee. You're not getting this for free.
See, my dog. What do you know what to tell me?
As a lawyer, you ain't saying all of that. It's like I just don't want to talk about it. I don't want them to pay a fee. I want them to leave me alone. But I definitely, back to your question, Demario, that's the biggest one for me, is that people already like put you in a box, and I don't know. Like, I don't know any, like, my doctor friends that when they meet someone and it's like, oh, you
Mark Anthony.
So that means that you It's like, but lawyers, it's like, oh, so that means you like to argue. Oh, that means that you're alpha. Oh, that means that you're this. And it's like, okay, well, that's what you think, then cool. Like, I don't care about trying to change nobody's mind no more. But I think that that's the biggest hurdle for me.
I got you.
What you say,
Sue?
Oh, biggest hurdle? I don't have a lot of hurdles these days because I'm older and I just really don't have any to give. So it's like, hey, this is what it is.
Yeah, I respect that.
It's my firm. There you go. That. Yes, I was on TV yesterday, the day before that too. This is what it is. Because my brother told me something right before I turned 40. I wonder if my brother's on live. Anyway, my brother was like, listen, he was like, if someone cannot handle you, you just need to find somebody with bigger hands. Like, you don't have to say you do this or do that, whatever, because the person that is for you is going to embrace all those things. Oh, you're a boss, you're a badass, you doing this, you handling your business. Okay, if you like to argue, which I don't, but whatever the things are. I think the thing that is the biggest hurdle for me is not necessarily something that comes from men. It's actually something that comes from women, because we're lawyers, because there's a stereotype that we're supposed to be, and we're not in a dating setting. I find women are like, oh, well, why aren't you acting like a lawyer? And and it's like, well, damn, we're not at work right now.
So supposed to be chilling, yeah.
If you sell groceries or whatever, you work at the Publix, is you meeting men and trying to bag up their stuff. Like, no. So why is the expectation that I'm going to be lawyering a man? Why can't I just be listening to a man, or, doing whatever a woman would do, being feminine, being soft, being kind, being receptive?
Right.
Like, why are women having a stereotype and trying to apply that and saying, if you're not being aggressive, if you're not being super mean, if you're not being crazy, or if you're not cross-examining or whatever, you're not being a lawyer in the dating setting, which is like, no, I have never met a man that's like, I would love for you to just cross-examine me, in our initial conversation. So it's like, you live and you learn, like, that's not. And so I find that women are more judgmental of what they do.
That's actually interesting. That's the first time I've ever heard this. So hearing this from you is like, well, now that you elaborated on it, I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Because usually it's always, a woman who's a lawyer would be like, oh, well, the guy's usually intimidated. He doesn't want to sit here, argue with you all night. So it's actually funny seeing it on the other end, where it's like women are the ones that typically give you the problems in this particular circumstance.
We went on a lot of dates, Mark Anthony. Was I arguing with you?
Never. We got along.
We're just talking.
Even if we had like a disagreement, it was like very friendly. So it was always cool.
Yeah, I think one of y'all said this earlier, and again, I'm sure there probably are other careers, but it's like, so my personality is naturally, it kind of fits into what a lawyer is expected to be. Like, people would guess, like, what do you do? And I'd be like, what do you, like, guess? Like, on the airplane meeting a stranger, and they'd be like, oh, lawyer. And I'd be like, oh my God, do I look like a lawyer? Like, why'd you guess that? Like, I give that off. So I think I've never experienced that, because I do kind of come off that way. But it's like, you can't do the slightest thing as a lawyer, and they know that you're a lawyer, because then it's be like, oh yeah, like da-da-da-da, because she's a lawyer, da-da. Be like, dang, I can't ask a question. Like, it automatically is put like that because of that title. And I think that's just, it's annoying, because like, if a person's like, they drive trucks, you're not gonna be like, oh, look how why he's turning a car like a truck driver. Like, okay, right-hand turn. Like,
or he's built like a stereotypical truck driver, probably like a big dude or something like that.
What stereotypes do you deal with, Demario, as an accountant?
I think money. Like, women want a man who's, stable. Whatever he does, like, even if he's like a teacher or something, like, that he's consistent. You know what I'm saying? I think consistency with a man is like one of the biggest things women look for. So, like, being consistent at your job, being consistent in finances, year after year, you want this person to perform to the grade where you met him, and, it could push you to having a family. So I would say consistency is really big for women. That's what it's just not an accounting thing. I think it's just something that women want from men.
So is the obstacle that there's an expectation of financial consistency? I was asking you what's an obstacle based on a stereotype about your job.
I don't
an obstacle in dating. So you feel like it's good, you don't have any obstacles, because women are like,
I don't have really many obstacles. It's just time. Like, my time is limited. Like,
okay.
Like, my time is limited. I'm crunched. My thought process is not on dating all the time. So it's like, when I get off, like, I'm trying to relax. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, during the dating process, like, I was on Zoom calls and meetings, and like, as soon as I left the meeting, like, I had to go on a date. So, like, I'm consumed 24/7 with it. So, like I told you today, like, I have to do 77 sheets in Excel. It's gonna take me about 2 weeks to do it. So, like, I'm slammed right now, and that's just one project. So it's just my mental capacity, and to be consistent with who I'm dating. Like, that's hard. Like, I don't be texting back. I might say, how are you? And then I don't text the rest of the days. stuff like that. Like I'm.
Well.
I mean, listen, this is a safe space.
I mean, that's real. That's the real.
We're
like,
working it out right now. Okay, so if
it's busy season right now for me. So I mean, that's.
Well, it's always busy season for me. But I have a question. For you being like a CPA, you don't ever have girls that automatically think that you're like, running the stats or weighing, probabilities and things like that, or something associated with like numbers. Because you're
the Mario would say women in these math equations.
Mario's facial expression.
Like numbers, like I just.
Or
like,
that you're like uptight about like money or like, I don't know. Like I would think like maybe like a girl, like if you say something to her about like, oh, you
I don't do that though. I don't bring my job into like some people don't ever know.
Well,
what I
neither do we, but it's like just us asking questions automatically like associated with like lawyering.
Yeah.
So I was kind of, and that's what I mean. Like I feel like other people, they don't do that.
I do weird stuff. Like if I pump gas, like it'd be $70 even. Like it's weird. Like I don't. I end the balance like 70. Or if I'm on a date and it's like $39, I just make it 40. You know what I'm saying? Like I just total it out to the because I'm just used to it.
Okay. He likes even numbers, ladies. He likes even numbers. Okay. What about you, Mark Anthony? Are you running into any obstacles, based on your profession or like things that your passions that you pursue that prevent you, from being your best self in the dating realm?
Not exactly my profession because I'm a medical lab tech by day, but like what I want to do is I want to eventually become a pilot. So I kind of get the stereotypes there. They're like, okay, you just want to fly around the world and not settle down and just move around. Those are the stereotypes I usually run into.
That you a player.
Whenever I discuss it with people. Yeah, they think that I'm taking like as if I'm a player and I'm applying my player lifestyle to my career. Where it's like, no, I've always wanted to fly planes since I was a kid. So it's something that was always in me. So
are you a player? That, but, you don't have to answer that. I'm just playing.
What?
I said, are you a player? Okay.
Nah, I mean, here's the thing with the word player, man. I never, because players have to like go out their way to manipulate and lie, and I'm here when I'm really not here. Okay. I really just tell you what it is. I just tell you what it is. This is just how I'm going to conduct myself. You're either going to run with it or you're not. So, and you can ask anybody I know. That's just how I've always conducted myself.
So you're like, I'm at this other girl house. I got to call you later.
Look, man, there's been situations where I might be with a girl and another girl texts me and she'll look at my phone and be like, hey, I'm talking to her too. What do you want me to do? Don't get mad at it. I didn't hide it from you. But at the same time, I'm not gonna show it in your face, but I'm not gonna sit here and sneak texts and it's crazy. I can't live like that.
We grown. Okay, who's most likely?
We're grown.
Who's most likely to be killed first if they were in a horror movie?
Probably me, because knowing me, I'll probably try to fight back. And then if it's like Jason with the axe, I'm like, look, I'm not running. I might as well start, I'll try to face the music. I'll probably die first.
My vote is Natasha.
No, girl.
Yeah. Only because I feel like Natasha gonna be trying to get to the bottom of the shit. Like, what the hell is that noise? What is that? Y'all don't hear that shit?
Yeah.
Y'all don't hear that? Where is that coming from?
Hey,
like,
you said she gonna go to the door and be like, "What's up?"
Wait.
That's with the Draco in the hand. That's the reason why I'm not going to be the first to die.
That is Draco.
So many pistols.
No, hold up. No, Sue, you gotta like build the scenario. You gotta build the scenario. Like, am I in a room? No. because it could be different. Like if
We're all in the
you're taking, like, a
mansion. We're
traditional
all at
room-
the mansion mixer. Okay, you're there too because
Okay,
you're not the curveball. Okay.
Okay, all right. We're all.
There is a loud
Oh,
noise. It's a killer.
Oh, I'm not dying. I'm not dying.
Oh, I'm not dying
I'm
either.
definitely not dying. I'm definitely not dying.
I'm
I thought you were
definitely
talking
not
about
dying.
like, yeah, if I was just in the room with the actual like Jason from Freddy and Jason, I'll be like, all right, I'm just gonna fight it out because there's nowhere to go. But if
Right.
we're all in a mansion and there's a killer, I'm not dying. Oh,
I'm
no,
like,
that's-
it's like, I'm out.
dying.
I think Mark Anthony would be the first
I'm
to
out of
die.
here.
Because Mark Anthony, you don't know how to whisper. And
No.
I think you're gonna say something. Like you're gonna be loud. Like you gonna be the one hiding in the
No, no.
closet.
I feel like Mark
I would
Anthony would sacrifice
probably-
himself for the rest of us.
Still, he's
He's
gonna
like,
be the first.
What? Yo, y'all got me
He's
messed
still
up.
gonna be the first for that.
I am out of here. I'm grabbing Natasha like a
She
shield.
said, I'm out of here.
Not a human shield.
Out of here.
Why
Not a human shield.
me? Why me?
Because you're the
I think
smallest one here.
Natasha,
So I
Natasha
can pick
can
you
have
up early.
lag time because she's gonna think about the situation. She's gonna think it through and be like, and we already gone. Like,
You're
we
ready to
like, fuck
go.
that shit. Like, we
Listen,
gone.
out of everybody
Yeah.
here, I'm the one that's like from close to the hood. So please.
I don't know. I don't
I
know.
know how to deal with situations, but that's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
That's okay. Y'all think that I'm gonna be the person to go, or that I'm gonna
Mark
die
Anthony
all?
pushes somebody to
And
slow down.
All I was saying was you're going to bring it to all of our attention that something is awry. Okay, for sure. Like, hey guys, y'all hear that shit? Because it might be a problem.
that's facts.
And then when you disappear, it might be to go get the Draco. I don't know. For the record,
I'm out of here.
I did go to elementary school in Brown Sub in Miami. Google it. I don't want to talk about it no more. Okay.
Google it, baby.
It's some wild hood.
Yes, it's a thing. But hey, most likely to laugh in a serious moment. Then we'll go to the our adult table video for the day. But who's most likely to laugh in a serious moment?
Probably all of us.
That's definitely
Right?
me. Yeah, all of us. Yeah,
I
I'm
think
laughing.
Mark. I think Mark.
Yeah,
Because I feel
yeah,
like
most
we're
definitely.
all like optimists.
Like I think he gonna break the ice. Like he gonna break the ice and everything. So
Yeah,
I say him.
yeah.
That's
If
true.
the tension's getting too tight, and I'm like, I'll probably break that. Unless the tension's on me. But if it's the tension between people, I'll be like, all right, let me just ease it down between everybody else.
Mark Anthony.
But yeah, I tend to laugh at serious situations.
That's true. Okay. So I came across this video. This conversation, I guess, is kind of directed at the guys first. It was a video of Charlemagne talking on a podcast. He was talking to another guy and just talking about how him finally deciding to be in a committed relationship was a game changer for him. But the interesting part of it, and I guess everybody will have their own interesting part, it's not long, but was that he was saying that how he grew up and was taught like from other men was like to be I guess polyamorous, like be in multiple relationships, not just have one girlfriend, and that wasn't cool. Let me see if we can get it played, and then let's see if I can play it.
Because of infidelity, it'd be the same.
Yeah.
Ruin his family because of infidelity, it'd be the same.
Yeah.
Person after that. Either they become a better human, but there's always that regret. There's always that hole. And I wish that that's the conversation us as men should have. Like instead of being the adult that my dad was to me, telling me like, oh, you only got one girlfriend? One day you gonna understand. I'd rather be the dude that said, hey man, when I started devoting myself to my wife, like literally committing myself to my wife, I'm not cheating, I'm not doing nothing else, and I'm going to therapy, and I'm going to work on myself. So look at my life the last 6-7 years. I came up in every way, physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, everything. I have yet to see a man.
I guess my
growing his-
question to, and we could do DeMario first. Do you feel like growing up, obviously now we're older, that you were encouraged not to be monogamous. Like if you have a girlfriend, your homeboys or your male people will be like, oh, you know, you just dating one girl, or, you know, were you encouraged not to be monogamous? And you could jump in, Mark.
I would say in some type of way, yeah. Like we're definitely like as a sports athlete, like you're gonna get attention, right? So like you honor that attention and like you use it against other women to gain other women. So in perspective is like if you have multiple women, women know that you get women and they like that because who wants somebody who doesn't get women? You know what I'm saying? Like why should they choose you solely if they're a good candidate? So I think that perspective is what we're raised in. And so if you do get women, if you're the star athlete, like you're gonna get women and other women like you too. So yeah, we were.
Okay. But do you feel like as you gotten older, either do those things matter less, or do you feel like it's just ingrained? Like
It's just ingrained. Like you literally, it's like muscle memory. You try to pick the best one, and when you pick the best one, other women know she's a great candidate, so they're attracted to you even more. And that literally is a spiral to like, okay, 3 or 4 women like you now because you got the baddest chick or you got the most educated or whatever. That's how it works. So yeah.
Okay. What about you, Mark Anthony? Do you feel like men are encouraged to not be monogamous?
Specifically for me, I would never say I was directly told to not be monogamous. It was all kind of indirect because growing up, I saw other guys talk to multiple women, and I saw how much women like those guys. So it's almost as if, hey, I want that. It's almost like a status symbol. So you say to certain men, and you're like, well, you know, you want to mimic this. So it's going to be hard for you to be monogamous to multiple women. You know, it's like, that's the reason why, like a lot of a big part of my life, I didn't want a girlfriend because I'm like, I like having these options. And I actually like the idea that there are other guys who look at me and be like, damn, man, Mark's doing his thing. He's talking this girl, that girl, that girl. There's something, there was always something gratifying about that, you know, but just like Charmaine said, you reach a certain age where you're like, this doesn't matter anymore. Why am I having all these frivolous relationships? They don't matter. They're not going anywhere. And then, and like time becomes like your best commodity. So you're like, look, I need to actually be serious with somebody. But yeah, when I was younger, it was, it was literally just almost like chasing a status symbol. Like I want to talk to as many girls as possible. I want people to know that I can talk to as many women as possible. And yeah, but I think that's something reserved when you're younger. But I was never directly told, hey, be non-monogamous. It was kind of like you see the benefits of not being monogamous.
What were you saying, DeMario?
No, I think he was honestly. I agree to his point, and I also think it happens the opposite too. Like you could talk to the baddest one that everybody wants in the hood. Like everybody knows she bad, and if you get her, all the other ones are gonna come to you.
Or they're
So
gonna come with it.
It's either you get the baddest or you talk to all of them, and that's how you get it too. So it's either or, but I mean it's the same results pretty much.
So what do you, I mean, is there a point at, like Charlemagne saying, you know, he was actually married, he, you know, cheated, which was public. And then he came to this realization like, yo, once I'm not trying to run around and spread my energy and spread my time, I'm doing so much better. Like I'm just a better person. I'm being so productive. Like, do you think that you have to kind of hit that rock bottom in a relationship before you be like, you know what, cheating is too much. Like get your car keyed. I don't know, whatever happens.
Yeah, I think it becomes you're double-minded when you're out there dating multiple women. It's a double-minded thing, and you want to be more stable. when you have things going for you, when you have motion, when you have things to lose, like you need somebody to safeguard that. And you need somebody to stand with you through the thick and thin. Like multiple women not gonna stand with you. It may be one or two, but all of them not gonna be there.
Right.
And, you can't give them that. You can't give them all of that information because they can use that against you to manipulate the situation. You know what I'm saying? They can hurt your brand. They can hurt your money, whatever. Like you need somebody who's gonna stand in the paint, and that comes from being with that one woman. So yeah, I do think it comes a time where you mature and you get to where you're tired of it. You know what I mean? Like you're tired of running around. You want your person. So yeah.
Okay.
I think it's a matter of discipline. You know, you should become more disciplined the older you get. I mean, you can't live your life. You're married and then you're sleeping with whomever. The older you get, the more discipline you get, the more you value your family, and you realize, and especially Charlemagne is a celebrity. People know him. So you're cheating. This is going to damage the credibility of you and your wife and your family. You're not just Joe Schmo walking down the street. So his stakes are much higher as far as how he has to conduct himself and how he has to present himself to the public. So if he's cheating on his wife, of course, that hammer is going to come down a lot harder on him compared to, I don't know, either one of us where we're not in the limelight like that. So I think it's a discipline thing. You just shut things down. You're like, look, I'm devoted to my wife. I made her this promise, so I have to stick to this. And the weight, at least for his situation, the weight of public scrutiny is going to hit me hard. So that should be the battery that pushes you to stay firm to what you originally agreed with your wife for.
But also one last take. I don't think some men, they don't get to where they can attract certain type of women unless they have a wife. And I think that's where it becomes where they attain the women they always wanted. Maybe Charlemagne. And now he has options. He never had that.
Really?
So it becomes a thing where it's like, damn, she held me down, but that's how I got to where I got. Now I got options.
Right.
And
yeah, but I wouldn't say
I don't know what to do. And so that's, I think, where the confusion comes in and where the cheating comes in, is that they got options now. He may never had an option like that.
What do you think, Mark Anthony? You were trying to say something.
No, I said the reason he has options, I wouldn't say because he got married. He's got options because he's got a high-paying career and he's in the public limelight. That's
but I'm saying she held her down, though. She held him down to get there.
Yeah,
you didn't hear about Charlemagne before that, though. You didn't hear about
but
him.
Remember, you're right. But the only thing you do is see Charlemagne. I don't know what his wife looks like. You know what I mean? So right. At least, you know what I mean? So I'm just saying that, like, people know him as a public figure. Right. So I would say he's got, like, the reason why he's got those options is because of who he is. Now, his wife has been sticking by his side. I'm not discrediting his wife, but I'm just saying the final result is him having a big time radio show, his talk show, et cetera, et cetera. So that's the door that's going to open up all the options for him to, obviously, commit infidelity on his wife. But I think
DeMario has an interesting point, though, saying that now that he's married, that makes him more attractive. That's something that's a point. And it's that the women have to get together and discuss.
And he couldn't attain the level of success without her. Let's be
right.
No, I agree.
And so now he has options outside of her. The fact that you said that you never seen her before gives him the option to say, I never publicly displayed my wife because, for whatever reason, but now these women don't know my wife either.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So
true.
It's like he set it up that way. Not everybody does that, but
Natasha has her hand raised. Yes.
I would say two things. One, at first I was like, what? When you said that because he had a wife, like now it opened up more options for him. Because I was like, what? Like girls don't be flocking to married men, but I don't necessarily know if it's
They
like
do.
the marriage aspect of it. But what I do know to be a fact is that the right woman can elevate a man.
Right.
Either just by being seen, like them being seen together, because girls are like, oh wait, she likes him. Oh, well, I want him, especially if it's like a girl that was like him, her butt to kiss, and now like they see somebody like cuter than them, smarter than them, more successful than them, and they're like, ooh, and then they want to bend the block and come back. So I don't know if it's like, the marriage aspect of it, but maybe it is because like, oh, like he wifed someone because they might have thought that he was just like out there like hoeing and wasn't, but he took her serious. Oh, I could have had him, or I know I could have him. So it does like, it breeds like this like competitive, like, I don't know, like motivation in certain people, because guys do it too. But the other thing is that he who finds a wife finds a good thing, and then receives favor from the Lord. So it's like that. I love that line where it's like Proverbs 18 something, but because it's he who finds, so it's a man who's looking for a wife, and that means that he needs to be at a certain place before he's looking. And then he who finds a wife, not a woman, a wife. So that means that she has to have certain qualities that make her fit into
She's got to be ready made.
And I literally have never come across a union where it was a man looking to be a husband and looking for his wife and finding a wife and getting married, and he did not. Like, it's a real thing. So I get what you're saying, Demario, about like him getting married to her brought him to where he is. Like, it's just what it is. We don't know the intricacies of their relationship and what exactly she did or what she changed for him, like within him and then outside, like in his, in his life to allow him to get there. But we know that it's a fact without even knowing that.
For sure.
Right.
My two things.
Right. The only thing I guess for me was saying that like I was just looking at just the end result. Like same way we could take like Leonardo DiCaprio. He's never been married before, just a bachelor his entire life. And I'd say like let's say his results are similar to Charlemagne. They're both highly successful, highly publicized figures. And a lot of women want Leo, but I'm sure there's a lot of women who want Charlemagne too. So that's the reason why I was looking at it from that side. But now, like, since you guys elaborated on it, it makes sense that, I guess Charlemagne's trajectory is a bit different because he had his wife all along. So we have no idea the stuff that his wife was contributing to make him the man that he is, that we see right now.
Well, he found his wife in his girlfriend and baby mama, I think, because they were not married for a really long time, right? And I think it's when it's like when he got married that's when things really started to change. That's why, because at first, like I was like, wait, women out here be like, oh, he's married. Whoa. I was like legit shocked. But then as you continue to talk, and then I started like the points, like I get what you're saying, because I was thinking only like the way that you were saying it, Demario. Like, nah, it's just because like girls know who he is.
I think y'all like men who can commit to. Like, I think that's sexy.
Right. Yeah.
And I don't want one that already committed to somebody else. Like, I don't want him get somebody else.
A lot of women don't say that. Like, y'all.
A lot of women. Chris Rock has this old joke where he's like, men will look at their friend's girlfriend and be like, oh, I want a woman like that. But women will look at their friend's boyfriend and be like, I want him. So I mean that's the joke. But it goes to show that like the I guess commitment from men tends to be a little bit more rare. So they're like, okay, there's only so few of these men that I want this particular guy. Where guys are like, well, I just want somebody like her, So I'm not saying it's.
I definitely think men and women value different things.
Yeah, that's a fact
For sure. So that's true. That's
Well,
true.
my friends' husbands are safe. Like we ain't
For
even that.
sure. And we've had that conversation on here on a previous episode. We were talking about like, are you friends with your friends, significant others and stuff, like those type of conversations. And most people were like, yeah, but you have to have boundaries. You have to have healthy boundaries, and that's important to kind of. I think it's just one of those things in terms of not stereotypes, but those things where men are just encouraged in a certain direction and women are encouraged in another direction that kind of make up what society thinks or what we're all told we're supposed to do. So women are supposed to be virgins when they get married, and men are supposed to have spread their seeds as much as they can, and now they're settling down with this person. It's and I think the most important thing, which we talked about a bunch of times, and you guys can disagree with me if you want, but I think everybody who's in a relationship, they decide what that relationship looks like, whether it's poly, whether it's monogamous, whether it's we see each other on the weekends or we see each other on the weekdays, or everybody decides for themselves. And I think a lot of times the best thing for a relationship that has had a breach, like Charlemagne and his wife, that he's very open about his breach, is that they haven't let outside people's kind of like opinions cause them to not be together. They're like, we're gonna do whatever they did, therapy, they're working on the relationship, etc. They're not making our outside people's opinion say, oh, you shouldn't be with him, or you shouldn't be with her because obviously you don't love her. They're kind of making it theirs. They're doing they're doing it their way. I don't cheating is one of my deal breakers, and that's fine. But I think that everybody's entitled to have the relationship that they want. Kojo's here. But I definitely think that for us in new relationships and going in, and obviously in the season of our lives, working on our permanent relationship, our last person, or being in a serious relationship, is just important to focus on the person as opposed to like all the outside noise.
Yeah.
Okay, we're almost done. I want to make sure I ask you guys this question because I ask everybody that comes on. What is your definition of Black love? And I'll start with Natasha.
Oh, I didn't remember you asking this on the first episode, but I love it. Black love to me is being with someone who understands me without me having to explain like the quiet part. So it's like with my therapist. Like I tell people, like the current therapist that I have now, she's older Black woman. She be quoting the Bible and stuff. And the reason why I like her so much and it works so well for me is that I don't have to explain like the whys about situations. And when I'm talking about like the root of what's like bothering me and what's going on, then it's like it just makes sense because regardless of where she grew up and how old she is, or how many siblings she has or whatever, it still is kind of like that Black experience. And I value that so much that I am committed to having that in my relationship. And that's what I think of like the core of Black love being so much stronger in a sense than just love. And that's like why I root for it. And I don't know, melanin be beautiful. And even though, I ain't had no son, so I'm a little low on it, it's still popping. But that's what I think of when I think of Black love, like on the like inside, not just the visual of what it looks like. It's, the quiet parts. You don't have to say
I like that very much. What about you, Demario?
Yeah, so I mean, I think it goes back to 1 Corinthians 13:4. It's like love is kind, love is
okay. Come on, Bible.
Love does not envy and it's not rude. So like I think that love embodies the culture, how we grew up, how we first started, and like it's an emotion. I think it's building something together. And I think as Black people, we have to be more together. We have to collaborate more. And I think that's what we struggle with as we date each other, is just like we're fighting. And so I don't think it's a fight. We should be patient. We should be kind. We should care for each other a lot more. And I think that's what Black love really is just taking the time out to understand how we grew up and use that to our advantage and to grow. And I think that's what Black love is.
Okay. What about you, Mark Anthony?
I think I have a very simple, I guess, definition of love to me, which is just the ultimate duty and responsibility to your fellow person, where it's like, and I say love as in general sense, like I love my friend, like my boys, like I love them, but I feel like I'm responsible and I have duties to that man. Same way, if I love my woman, it's the same thing. It's just that I guess you could just put a shade of black on it, and then this is what it is to me. But that's what love has always been to me, just ultimate duty and responsibility to that person.
I love that. And I love you guys. And I appreciate you guys coming to the adult table, hanging out with me, being adults, being so transparent, because I feel like obviously we're all on season 7, which is airing right now. And, everybody gets snippets of us. They don't really get a full version. So it's nice to be able to have these opportunities to kind of talk to each other, to kind of see like how we really interact, how we really, without editing, without all the extra stuff. So I appreciate you guys so much. We can't close out without doing the adult table prayer. Natasha knows it.
Well, and first, I want to say thank you for having us.
We're not leaving. We're not leaving. We just sang the adult prayer, and then we'll go to closings. Don't worry. See what I told y'all.
See, that's how
Let me help you with
see what the adult thing prayer is.
No, I need it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
all of us.
say the adult table prayer. It's very quick. You got to repeat after me. Everybody who's at the adult table.
Everybody who's at the adult table.
I'm thankful for you.
I'm thankful for you.
I'm thankful for you.
And everybody who's not.
And everybody who's not.
Stay away from me.
Stay
away from me.
Amen.
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 Okay, so we'll start with Demario, the enigmatic Demario. Please tell them where they can find you. If you have anything coming up aside from Friday, which is tomorrow at 8 p.m. on OWN, let them know where to find you.
So you can find me at Demario Cash on all social platforms. Tomorrow I have the Twitter conversation on Twitter with Will Packer Productions. That's at 9:15. And then I have Rolling Out Mag at 9:30 interview. So check me out.
Very exciting. Okay, Mark Anthony. He flies planes and he's fly. Where can they find you?
Yeah, so Swan wrapped it up nicely. You can find me at St. P101 on Instagram. That's probably my only social media platform. I don't really have others. And at 8:00 Fridays.
Okay.
On OWN.
And don't forget, we didn't show it, but me and Anthony had a very fun, cute date. It's in the exclusive clips on OWN.
Oh yeah.
So we put it in the
What y'all do?
in the episode. But it was such a cute date. We had such an awesome conversation, which we always have great conversation. But definitely go to OWN, check out the digital exclusive date if you want more insight to me and Mark Anthony and our multiple dates that we had. Always a gentleman.
One of many.
That's the one with the water guns?
No, me and Mark
Anthony.
No. Oh, that's Anthony.
Yeah, I didn't.
No,
we just had like a normal like on the bar.
Oh yeah, I didn't see this one. Okay.
It was pretty good. It was pretty good.
Digital exclusive.
It's a digital.
You were looking good that day too, Sue. It's like.
So I was looking. Hey, I showered her with compliments. That day.
Listen,
I was like,
one thing
"Damn,
about
look
Mark
great."
Anthony, because he keeps it real, it's different. Because if Mark Anthony gives you a compliment and he's like, "You look good, girl," you like, "Well, damn, I came today."
Yeah,
And Mark Anthony was showering me
Yes.
with compliments. I was very
Aw.
yeah,
appreciative
you're looking great.
because I know that he
Yeah, you
means
look
it if he said it.
That is dope.
So I
Absolutely.
appreciate
You did have the hair flowing.
Mm.
it.
Yeah, so you got the hair out. Yeah, it was looking nice. It was looking nice, man.
Why they didn't put that on though? Like,
Well, I know Mark Anthony was interrogating me. We should do, where is it? Go to the part where he's like, "Oh, I know you're trying to be a lawyer." Right before that, what he asked me.
has a different style.
you just spoke about that too.
You hear what he asked me?
Okay.
You know, like she's really nice. And Jeffrey,
Mhm.
I connected
He's
with Jeffrey.
saying who
as
his
well.
connections
So I
are.
gotta ask you, if you had to make your choice right now between Anthony and Blake,
I would say Blake,
okay,
but it's like with Anthony, he has a different style. I feel like Blake is more the catch a fish with like bait, and
Okay.
Anthony seems like he'll catch a fish with his bare hands.
okay, fair enough. That's a nice peasy question. You ran around that question too.
I answered the question.
I peeped it too.
I know you're sharing with me some of your struggles in terms
Right.
of the process, and my struggle with you, as you know, is that we had a conversation and you're like, I don't really want to date somebody who has kids because I want to do like all the first baby things
Right,
with the person.
He amended his
that's
answer.
right. Throughout this process I've kind of like amended my position on that a little bit.
No
Maybe
objection.
I could kind of just open up a little bit. When it comes to
Amendment
that.
With
accepted.
Mark
You
Anthony,
can
our
cut it.
connection is definitely going to be friend.
You can cut it. Listen, I want to tell you right now, the fact that the reason why me and Mark Anthony always had organic conversations is because he's really smart, obviously. But Mark Anthony, he met me toe for toe. Like he came to me he's like, well, I would like to amend that and say that my new position. He used a lawyer word on me. Okay.
You said motion to amend, and you said approved.
I can't give you enough props. You know, I love all of you. Mark Anthony came and said he made an amendment, and I respect that. He grew from the process, and I love that for him.
Exactly.
Yes.
Natasha, the lit lawyer, where can they find you? What do you have going on?
So I'm Natasha, aka or BKA, known as the lit lawyer. That's pretty much my name on all social platforms. But my firm name is Harrison Advocates. So if you have legal needs, www.harrisonadvocates.com.
That part.
The chat feature. Okay. But Sue-Ann, is this where I say thank you? Yeah.
Yes.
Well, thank you for having us. You mentioned that this gives like other people an opportunity to see more of our personality, and you already know, like no one really got to see any of mine. So I loved doing this with y'all because it's just different than the other interviews where it's just like me. And it's not all about the show, but I just love y'all, and any opportunity that I get to hang out with y'all is so cool. And I am glad that you're doing this because it gives people not just an opportunity to see us individually, but see that we like rock with each other. Like we, still hang out, talk to each other, and we just a whole vibe. Like get with it or get lost. You know what I'm saying?
That part. Get right or get left.
Right. Mm-hmm.
It's
But
giving
thanks for
you
having me. Everyone, thanks for watching. It was so much fun. I can't wait to come back to the adult table. I'm never going back to the kids table ever again.
Ever. You're always invited forever. And when you come on here, if you acting up, the good thing about the adult table is we can talk it out. That's why I respect Demario and Mark Anthony so much. We were able to have like a real conversation.
Mhm.
That's what adults supposed to do. And I appreciate all of you guys for coming. I appreciate everybody who tuned into the stream. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, do the damn thing. We'll be next Thursday. We're gonna really try. I will be out of the country, but I will definitely try to still figure out a way to make it happen. If I can't, that's going to be the only reason why I'm not here. But we will let you know in advance what's going on. I appreciate you guys so much. Obviously, at Not Just a Lawyer, please subscribe so you can get that little ding, ding, ding. We're having a show so you know what's going on. Again, big round of applause and lots of love to Natasha, Demario, for showing up and showing out. Marcia and Anthony for being in the comments. Love you guys always. See you guys soon.
Bye.
Peace out.